Right? Okay. See, after these election results have been a very severe setback for the CPIM and the left. Not only in Bengal, but in our strongholds of Bengal, Tripura, Kerala. And the overall result also has shown that most of the opposition parties have not fared any better. And except for the DMK in led front in Tamil Nadu and the YCP Congress in Andhra Pradesh, some places there was some resistance like in Orissa, in Punjab. But all over the country there has been a very, very intense consolidation of the right-wing politics. And this right-wing shift that is there globally, that right-wing shift is also a reflection in India. I mean, this is happening all over the world in the current capitalist crisis. But that is not an excuse, so to speak. I mean, there's a need for a great introspection by the party. The Politburo initial discussions after the results decided that the Central Committee will meet from the 7th onwards, that is 7th of June. And before that, we'll have the State Committee's preliminary reviews of at least 3 strongholds. And that's why I'm here today for the Bengal State Committee meeting. The Kerala and the Tripura State Committee meetings have already been held in the last few days. And then in the Central Committee, we'll make a proper assessment. But there are 3 major factors, according to us, which explain this sort of a victory for the BJP in these elections. The first was the last 5 years of intense communal polarization. This polarization from these election results, it's clear, this has been consolidated. There is a communal polarization in the country, and the divide that is there, a communal divide, that has been consolidated in this election. And that is why you will see once again the BJP does not have a single Muslim or a minority MP despite these huge numbers. So this consolidation of communal polarization is not, it's a very ominous sign for India's secular democratic constitutional order. This is one factor. The second factor is that this communal polarization, which is in fact a consolidation, a communal consolidation, was accompanied in the elections by the rousing of communal nationalistic jingoism. Pulwama and Balakot helped in the process of creating this sort of a nationalist jingoism, which was, along with the communal polarization, which was very effectively used, and successfully the BJP could shift the narrative away from the people's issues, away from the plight of our farmers who are committing suicides, away from all the struggles of the working class that took place in the last 2 years. On all these issues, demonetization, GST, the burdens on the people and the anger against this Modi government for all that they've imposed was successfully diverted into this narrative of a communal nationalist jingoism. And in this they succeeded eminently. And that was the narrative on the basis of which people have voted. The third factor, an important factor, is along with this narrative, shift in narrative, there was this build-up of a larger-than-life persona of Narendra Modi. And that larger-than-life build-up of persona of Narendra Modi led it to a situation where people were not voting for the candidate in the constituency, but they were voting for Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister of India. And that was the narrative built up, that he is required for India's safety against terrorism, to safeguard India's interest. And this successful build-up of this persona, larger-than-life persona, added to the communal consolidation, plus post-Pulwama, Balakot, the nationalist jingoism that was roused. And these factors explain the way in which the RSS BJP could effectively shift the narrative away from people's livelihood issues. So this is the basic reason. I mean, the detailed analysis is being done, will be done. But in the process, this could not have been possible but for the massive use of money power. And today the news has come from your Bengal corporate sources in Bengal that through the electoral bonds thing, at least more than 2,000 crores of rupees was spent in Bengal alone by the BJP in its campaign. And this news, this confirms the general tendency of how the electoral bonds were used to legalize political corruption. And the massive amount of money that flew from the corporates into the BJP to finance this election, that was one factor. The second is the entire sections of the corporate media, large sections of the corporate media, which were actually projecting this narrative and building up that larger-than-life persona of Modi. The third was the manner in which the constitutional regulators and authorities were partisan in allowing the build-up of this narrative and this persona, like the Election Commission. Even that Namo TV, illegally broadcast, which is now closed down. All that was legalized and was allowed. So they all assisted in this. But in addition to this, the RSS had conducted a very, very intense micro-level social engineering. Even in Bengal, this was done all over the country, even in Bengal, identifying the specific subcastes, identifying the specific tribal communities, and the messaging to them through the use of electronic aids, very effective use of technological aids of communication, which they did, backed by big data analytics. And with this process, they were able to successfully shift this narrative. So while this is the setback for the left in the sense that this is from 2009, we have been noting the decline in the left's parliamentary presence. In 2009, for the first time after 1967, when CPM contested as CPM for the first time, 67 we won 19 seats, in 2009 we came down to below that to 16. In 2014 we further reduced to 9. Now we are down to 3 and the left has got 5 along with the CPI. So this is the lowest presence of the left in the Indian Parliament. And this is a very serious question, that is where the introspection is going on. But then what is the future? Apart from the lessons we'll draw from our introspection, apart from the methods we'll work out to strengthen the independent strength of the CPIM and then the left, and its political intervention capacities, all these decisions will be taken by the Central Committee and subsequently we will take them up with the state committees. Apart from that, politically and for the country, we believe that there are 4 major challenges that these election results pose. One challenge is that these results, as a result of the communal consolidation that I was talking about, they pose a very, very severe challenge to the unity of our people, to the protection of India's diversity and pluralism, to what India stands for as according to the Indian Constitution. That is going to be a very big challenge in the days to come, and the social strife that this can generate, that will be very dangerous for our country. Second challenge is that this undermining of all authorities and institutions under the Constitution. beginning from the Parliament itself, the judiciary, the Election Commission, the CBI, the RBI, all these authorities, the undermining of that would be intensified. Because that undermining is required to convert this secular democratic Republic of India into the RSS version of their Hindutva Rashtra. So this is another challenge that will emerge or is emerging. The third is that given the entire campaign on communal nationalist jingoism, the whole effort would be to create a security state. Security states meaning that the entire democratic rights and civil liberties of the people will come under severe attack. Already you have these formulations of urban Maoists, Tukde gang, Khan Market gang, and all these will be issues that any dissent that you will find in cyberspace, any dissent that you will find against their policies, they will be very, very severe curtailment and attacks on it. So protection of democratic rights, civil liberties becomes important. And the other fourth is that there will be further assaults on the livelihood of the Indian people. Now the data that was suppressed during elections is now coming out. Your GDP is the lowest that you recorded in the last 5 years. Your manufacturing and industry growth has been very low, meaning unemployment has been growing, and now they have confirmed the highest level of unemployment in the last 45 years. Your agrarian growth has fallen very drastically. That means agrarian distress and farmer suicides will continue to increase. Your price rise and international oil price and the US pressures not to buy oil from Iran is going to hike the petroleum prices even more. They were increased by 6 rupees per litre soon after the election result. And that means an overall living conditions of the people are going to be severely attacked, and that challenge has to be met. So while how to meet these challenges that the Central Committee will work out, but the direction is clear. Our independent initiatives and to strengthen ourselves independently, CPM will take up all these issues along with the left forces. And in the future, to meet these challenges, we would be appealing to all forces who were willing to come and join in protest against these and to protect the Constitutional Republic of India. Those who are willing to join, that would be there, we'll go along with, and we need to go along with everybody who is willing today to protect the Constitutional Republic and its foundations in India, which are under threat. So that is the roadmap we have in the future, that to strengthen ourselves independently, the political intervention capacity of the left, and the broadest possible unity of forces who are willing on these issues, issue to issue, those forces to be drawn together in order to meet these challenges. So that is what we have decided, because I remember in the last phase of the election, to all of you I had said that the CPM in the left is like Messi, that we will score a goal between the two defendants. But remember, there are also matches where Messi does not score a goal. This is one of those matches, but that doesn't mean Messi is not Messi. So that is going to be, that will be the future roadmap that is being drawn out, and this is how we will proceed.
There is a continuous process from 2009 to last 10 years, gradually vote share is declining and it's almost not happening. Do you think it's a time to massive change in the leadership?
You see, all the organizational changes, remember, you see, there is no organization minus politics, there is no politics minus organization. So it is, for us, that is why our terminology is always political organization. So political organization, yes, the organizational issues will be discussed. after the Central Committee meeting, and you will see, I mean, that is very clear, and we are very clear that as I have seen in the last, I mean, I come here on four occasions, four different areas of program during the election. And in the last 10 years, I have not seen so many youngsters who are part of the left's campaign in Bengal. In fact, I've told my leaders here that I could actually feel that they all have to be drawn in. The youngsters will be there coming in, and we have to, I mean, after all, India today, 2/3 of India is below the age of 40. No, that is India. So these changes will happen, and will happen soon. Don't be surprised.
Do you think it's a time to eliminate that youngster?
That's what the party will take I told you the direction. I mean, I told you that's it, and that I'm very. In fact, I'm very satisfied. The number of youngsters that we saw in this campaign. Actually, honestly, I have not seen it in the last 10 years in Bengal. This time I saw. So that is a positive sign as far as we are concerned. Okay.
Very apparent after the election results came out that the left vote has shifted to the BJP. Would you agree with that? Why, and what are you going to get it back?
No, I mean, you see, this is something, if you recollect, we had said, I had said earlier, here itself, to meeting all of you, that what is developing in Bengal is a polarization between the BJP and the Trinamool. And all those who are today interested, who today the priority is relief from the repression and the tension and the terror that the Trinamool has unleashed in the last 8 years, those sections are likely to move towards BJP. And the sections who today want to safeguard secularism and the secular democratic order, to defeat the BJP, they will move towards the Trinamool. And this polarization is squeezing out all the other democratic space. That was our challenge, to meet that process. And that process has happened. The election results have shown very clearly. So it's not as though the left, no party member would have voted. No party worker would have voted. But the left vote support base. For 8 years they have been victims of this sort of intense terror repression. And they see that if there was an opportunity to end that, or to at least get some relief out of that natural tendency of those who had earlier preferred to vote for us, they would. But as I think I told you in the last phase of the election here, the slogan I was hearing is, Ebar Ram Pure Vam. That was the slogan I was hearing during the election campaign. And I don't know who gave this slogan or who coined this, but whatever it is. So, there was a feeling of that nature. But that is what we have, we are already, the efforts have begun. Many of those sections have already started coming back, saying that it is for that relief part of it, that some of them voted. And that is what we have been battling for 8 years. When 179 of my comrades have died, they've died against this sort of terror. Thousands of the men are here being looked after and underground by the party, while their families and their wives and the children are all there in the villages where they can't go back. So you understand the human condition. So that is what was the factor which may have given that. But there's no such a systematic thing of the party or the party workers shifting there. But this was the general mahol, so to speak, or the general milieu in which the elections were taking place. ওরা ডিসাইড করুন এটা এবার দেখুন বিজেপির ভোটের পার্সেন্টেজ লাস্ট 10 ইয়ার্সে যখন আপনি দেখুন যে কনস্ট্যান্ট রাইজে যাচ্ছে একটাই সময় ছিল একটাই নির্বাচনে যেখানে ও ভোট পার্সেন্টেজ ঘটলো ড্রপ হলো আর সিগনিফিকেন্টলি ড্রপ হলো ওটা ছিল 2016 অ্যাসেম্বলি ইলেকশন যেখানে জনগণ দেখছে কি একটা অল্টারনেটিভ আছে তখন ওদের ভোটিং বিহেভিয়ারটা আলাদা হবে তো 2016-এ যে ভোট ড্রপ ছিল, ও ভোট ড্রপ ছিল কেন কি লেফট হ্যান্ড কংগ্রেসের কিছু আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং হয়েছে আর ওদের জন্যে একটা অল্টারনেটিভ এমার্জ করছে। এবার ওটাই এক্সপিরিয়েন্সকে মনে রাখতে আমরা প্রপোজ করলাম কি সিটিং সিট সে নো কন্টেস্ট করুন। ওটা হলো না আনফর্চুনেটলি। আর যেটা 2 সিট যেটা কংগ্রেস জিতলে, ও জিতলো যেখানে আমরা মানে লেফট রান কনসিয়াসলি ক্যান্ডিডেটস দিলেন না। যেখানে লেফট রান ক্যান্ডিডেটস দিল না, ওটাই 2টো সিট আছে যেখানে কংগ্রেস জিতলো। মানে মিনিংটা কি? তো এটা কংগ্রেসকে জবাব দিতে হবে কি কেন এটা হলো না, আমাদের প্রপোজালকে ওরা কেন অ্যাকসেপ্ট করলো না। ওটা এটা তো কিছু অ্যারিথমেটিক ক্যালকুলেশন না। তো যদি এরকম আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং হলো সিটিং সিটসে হবে না, ও সিগন্যাল যাবে তো জনগণের কাছে কি এটা অল্টারনেটিভ আছে একটা। এখানে বিজেপির অল্টারনেটিভ কে? তৃণমূলকে দেখলেন, তৃণমূল অল্টারনেটিভ কে? বিজেপিকে দেখলেন। তো এটা তো ও রকমের সিচুয়েশন কুড হ্যাভ ডেভেলপ। নির্বাচনের সময় না, আগে থেকেই তো হচ্ছিল, ওরাও নিজের অর্গানাইজেশন প্রবলেমসে ছিলেন। এখানে আগে কি হবে ওটাও কেউ জানেন না, কিন্তু ওরাও নিজের ইন্ট্রোস্পেকশন করছে। কে থাকবে কে না ওটা জানি না। দেখি কীরকম ওরা কী কনক্লুশনসে পৌঁছবে। কিন্তু আমরাও যেটা বললাম, আমাদের অফার যেটা আমরা দিলাম ওটা কংগ্রেস অ্যাকসেপ্ট করলো না। কেন করলো না? ওদের আনসার ওকে দিতে। আর ইলেকশনসের এক্সপিরিয়েন্স কী দেখাচ্ছিল? 2টো সিট যেটা কংগ্রেস জিতলো, 2টো সিট যেখানে লেফট ক্যান্ডিডেট দিল না। মানে কি ওরা বলুন, ওরা অ্যাসেস করে বলুন কি ওটার মানে কি। We said both are opponents. In West Bengal requires an alternative that is non-BJP, non-Trinamool. Without that, Bengal as Bengal and the potential that Bengal has, that cannot be realized. It cannot be realized either under Trinamool rule or under the BJP rule. And remember, please remember, BJP rule and the danger in Bengal today, this generation will have to be told. Where was Mahatma Gandhi 15th of August 1947? Why was he not there at the Red Fort when the national flag was being unfurled and independence was declared? He was here in your city on an indefinite hunger strike trying to stop the communal riots in Noakhali. The worst communal conflagration that took place during partition was in Bengal. And today you allow that sort of a situation which was kept under the lid, pushed into the background by the left for half a century. That is being resurfaced now. The dangers of that will have to be properly understood by the people of Bengal. And anybody who allows that danger to grow, like the Trinamool does, that is not the answer for Bengal and the Bengali people to realize their potential. That is it. We want an alternative to both of them, and that is what the leftists and the leftists will try to build. Okay? ওরা যেটা বলেন এক দুজে খেলাফ ওরা যেটা বলেন ওরা বলতে দিন। আমরা বলছি কি বাঙালের জনগণের জন্য, বাঙালের ফিউচারের জন্য এটা অল্টারনেটিভ দরকার। এটা নন বিজেপি, নন টিএমসি, এটা দরকার। তাই জন্য ওদের জন্য লেফট আর লেফট ফ্রন্টটা চেষ্টা করব। ওকে, you see, the question is, till now the Election Commission has not been able to reconcile the figures. We find it strange. The counting was over on 23rd. The reason why they said they will not have more VVPAT counting is because it will delay thing. Until now, if you are not reconciled, then how have you given the certificate that so-and-so is elected? You have given the certificate saying that you are elected. Oath taking has taken place. New government has been formed. Till now, the Election Commission cannot reconcile. No, there are questions that need to be answered. So we are saying, we told the Election Commission is put out a 2-page, a press release, where they say it will take us some time to reconcile, etc. How long? 23rd, and today is the 10 days, 12 days over. So that is where people are getting these doubts, etc. So these questions have to be answered. Otherwise, that confidence has to be generated that the Election Commission has or will conduct a free and fair election. Okay? Thank you.